Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Pleasure to be here. I'm going to talk not specifically about hydrogen and fuel cells, but I'm, if you allow me, going to speak a little about the way I see on the future of energy. If we talk about future, of course, we need to think about what we did in the past, and I think what we have done so far is characterized by some kind of laziness. I think what we have done so far with the energy, with the fossil fuels largely, is that we just burn them. We have tried to find all the fossil fuels in the earth, and we still keep on burning them. So I think there needs to be a shift in mentality to start changing that. It's not going to be easier. It's going to be more complicated. Probably also it's going to be more expensive. So looking towards the future, we have a challenge ahead. Now, what usually people do when they have a presentation is start to fiddle around with the title. Of course, I will do that as well. Future about energy. We're not going to run out of fossil fuels. They're going to be more and more expensive. Of course, this will take some time. It's not happening tomorrow. The energy, the future of the energy, there is enough energy. Let me turn around. There is enough energy. The DOE in America said that every hour of sunshine which hits the earth is enough to feed all the energy requirements for 1 year. Even the wind power, there is enough wind, 8 times enough for the whole year. So what I would like to say is that the question about the future of energy, maybe need to turn around to energy storage, the future of energy storage. Because basically, and again, this is an issue which we have struggled with since mankind exists, we never find a good way of storing energy. Fossil fuels, as you know, we currently have a lot, but they're not only used for transport, for heating, for purposes, but also we need them to make more added value materials. So turning around to thinking, saying that we have to think about the energy. The second point I'd like to make is about the supply and demand. Usually, any business model is based on a supply of technology, of products, and a demand of a customer to buy that. That's quite always in a stable condition. Now, if we talk about new energy provisions, new energy technologies, and of course, yes, also in particular about hydrogen and fuel cells, then the business model around that is quite complicated. The technology is more expensive. The industry doesn't really find immediately a new model for that. The customer, for this kind of technology, is not immediately ready to spend much more money. The point here is that there is nothing enabling that business model to start turning. And for that aspect, I believe it's important that a third player comes into the scene, public authorities, who have a foresight on what the society is going to need. Because again, coming back to the situation on fossil fuels, we can carry on doing that. But again, we have to look towards the future. We do need to change it. So we have to think about the society. And the third point I would like to make is a sense of urgency. By when do we need to do that? If you now read newspapers, what's first on the line is usually about the financial crisis and jobs. And maybe, yes, environment, health is still on the agenda, but it's probably not the first or the second point. People are not immediately interested in trying to challenge at this moment in time. We are in a recession. The industry, at the same time, is looking for a stable business environment, which they can't immediately find. Where is the common problem for both the industry and the politics? And again, I think we need to find a good solution, a good common subject where both the industry and the government, the politics can find each other. So it's a future about the economy. Which way do we want to go? How we can match both problems. So the three things when talking about the future of energy is the energy storage, because that's the key point we have to solve. Secondly is the politic foresight. We took into the future, this is what we need to do to make sure everything is going to to work and keep on rolling. And the government and the industry needs to meet. That's the common issue. Allow me to say a couple of words about the fuel cells and hydrogen joint undertaking. We are a public-private partnership, and in that aspect, we are part of the strategic energy technology family originated by the European Commission. Down here we see all the different initiatives which dealing with wind, with solar, with biomass, smart grids, smart cities, CCS, fuel cells and hydrogen. It's a strategic outlook towards the future, but again, it's only going to be valid once all these individual initiatives are closely working together. Each of them individually are not going to change the world. It's only when they all work together. And that's really also here what we see here in the conference, where you have all the different aspects of new energy technologies. We have to find a way to combine them. We as a public-private partnership, we have a close cooperation working with the European Commission, with the European industry and the European research community on making this technology ready for commercialization by 2015. We believe that this technology is a clean, more efficient, sustainable cornerstone for future energy provision. It will allow us for the future to become more self-reliant. As you know, as you might know, every day we're spending in Europe 1 billion euros on importing of fossil fuels. And again, as what I said in the beginning, what do we do with them? We just burn them. And what do we do next year? We do just the same. We're spending yet another 1 billion a day buying fossil fuels and keep on doing the same system. We have to become self-reliant. Whatever we can do ourselves, nobody will be able to take away. Making hydrogen as such is not very complicated. Every chemical substance containing hydrogen, one way or another, you can take it out. Most easily, natural gas and water. Of course, you can use the bio. That's shown here in this chart. Transporting of hydrogen is reasonably manageable through storage vessels, even putting it in the natural gas is another option. And the application of fuel cells and hydrogen, you can see it is in transportation, industrial, big fuel cells to put the electricity back into the grid. So there's quite a lot of opportunities here for this technology to be a cornerstone of the future energy provision. It will be a method for us to become more self-reliant and avoiding all the imports. Thank you very much.